Is there a difference between a women's basketball coach motivating women players and men players? By Michaela Green, Sports Psychology. This is my outline of the project. First, I'll be talking about what is motivation, then how to build motivation. There are 5 guidelines to that. Is there a difference between a women's basketball coach motivating women players than men's players, in my opinion? And then I'm going to tell you other people's opinions. I got 3 people to volunteer to give me their opinions on this question. What is motivation? Motivation can be defined simply as the direction and intensity of one's effort. Sports and exercise psychologists view motivation from many different perspectives, such as achievement motivation, motivation in the form of competitive stress, and intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. The process of motivation depends on the direction of effort and intensity of effort. Direction of effort refers to whether an individual seeks out, approaches, or is attracted to certain situations. Intensity of effort refers to how much effort a person put forth in a particular situation. These are very important in motivation, and I feel as if this is a part of the definition of motivation. How to build motivation. Number 1, consider both situation and traits in motivating people. In other words, when you are motivating someone, you want to enhance their motivation on many things. You want to enhance their motivation, you must analyze and respond not only to a player's personality, but also to the interaction of personal and situational characters. Because motivation may change over time, you should continue to monitor people's motives for participating even months after they've begun. Number 2, understanding people's multiple motives for involvement. That's kind of self-explanatory, but in other words, you want to find out what motivates that person to participate. So you want to try to figure out why they're participating, what's like behind it. Some people have things. It could be anything. Number 3, you want to change the environment to enhance motivation. You want to provide both competition and recreational environments to enhance motivation. Structure teaching and coaching environments to meet the needs of all participants. This also means you want to provide multiple opportunities, adjust to individuals and groups. So you just don't want to look at what they're doing. You want to look at what's behind it. Number 4, influence motivation. Means on a bad day, your actions and inactions can influence the motivational environment. Number 5, you want to use behavior modification techniques to change undesirable motives and strengthen weak motivation. You want to try to get people with not good motivational strategies to be more motivated. Is there a difference between a women's basketball coach motivating women's players than men players? I think there's a difference, and these are the reasons because of relations, toughness, attitudes, mindsets, and from person to person. By relations, I mean that women coaches relate to women players better than women coaches relating to men players. Women coaches go through the same thing, have the same experiences as the women players, but not as men players. Some things may be the same, but men has, like I said, different mindsets. Their mindsets are totally different for women. With men, you have to be more tough and in their face because they think that just because you're a woman that you might not be as well-rounded and as tough and go through the same things they go through. with the attitudes, it's basically how they think and how they respond to you, which is in toughness and mindsets. But attitudes can also be, when of course women have more attitude problems than men, and they deal with their attitude differently than each other. From person to person, I mean that when motivating people in general, you have to look at the person, because each women players women coaches motivating women players are also different, because you have to motivate each person differently. You can't just look at the group, you have to look at the individual. And these are people opinions. I got one male player, I got a woman, and I got a female basketball player. The male basketball player believes that it's not a difference, because motivating is courage coming from one that cares for your potential. So it doesn't matter if it's female or male, it depends on that person, which I kind of talked about in the first slideshow. A woman says that I feel as men and women coaches can motivate their players the same. But as an athlete, you have to be coachable, able to take criticism, and take a little harshness. So she feels as if there is no difference, that women and men can motivate the same, and they can motivate women player and men players the same also. And a female basketball player says there is a difference, because when coaching females, they are more laid back but strict, and with coaching males, the coaches are harder and they go all in, meaning that with females, they can relate more and they're more laid back, they understand it more. With males, you gotta be tougher on them, more in their face and more hands-on and stuff like that. That's my slideshow, and I hope you like it.